Hello and welcome to another video from Midas Touch Toys, Games, Collectibles. And today we are looking at something very old and now incredibly rare. We are looking at the 1979 release by Western Publishing from their series of TV tie-in magic painting books. And this particular one we are looking at today is from Star Trek, the original series. Obviously the original series because there was no other Star Trek around in 1979. And it features the crew of the USS Enterprise, commanded by Captain Kirk, with his first officer, Mr. Spock. And they're on an adventure in this book, and you paint them with water and, well, just water, really. Paint with water and a paintbrush, and it magically brings the colours to life. Okay, this is the front cover, and you can see it says Star Trek. And you've got an artwork image of Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock, and they're on an alien planet, and there's an alien monster that Spock is pointing to. It says magic painting, and it's got TM designates trademarks of Paramount Pictures Corporation. And it's got copyright 1979, Paramount Pictures Corporation. A little bit hard to see that because of the it's faded somewhat slightly. You can see you've still got the original purchase price label on the top of the book there, and it says 25p, which was the cover price back in 1979. I'm afraid it's a little more than that nowadays, but anyway, let's turn it over to the back. And what have we got on the back? Exactly the same image of what's on the front. It just doesn't have Star Trek and magic painting printed on it. And it says Tableworth Limited, Stafford, and all rights reserved, copyright publishing by arrangement with Western Publishing Company. And it's got printed in England. Okay, so that is the front and back covers. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open this up. Let's have a look at the inside and see what's inside. Okay, so I've opened up the magic painting book, and this is the very first page. And this actually book tells you a brief story. You can make your own text up as you go along with it if you wanted to, but it is a very, very brief story with just images that if you take your paintbrush and a pot of water and you wet your paintbrush and just wipe it over the top of these shaded areas, it brings them to colour. So that's why it's called magic painting. Clean your brush off after that with water and go on to the next one, and the same thing, the wetness brings the colours to the surface, and that gives you the colour of the picture. Okay, so that's the first page. You can see the Enterprise flying through space, arriving at a planet. And then you can see the crew of the Enterprise on the bridge, and they're looking at that planet. And you've got Spock and Kirk about to beam down. Scott is about to beam him down there. And the same thing applies to this picture. Anything that has got the shading on it is what you colour with water. So dip your paintbrush in water and go over the shading, and that brings colours to the surface, and you end up with a lovely picture. And you haven't had to buy any paint. Okay, so we've got Spock and Kirk arrive on the planet's surface, and behind them is a big ogre of some sort, which Kirk then shoots or stuns with his phaser. However, it doesn't work, and the animal knocks out Kirk and Spock, and they wake up in someone's palace or house or something. And the animal or the ogres that you saw are the property of this person. And they come to and start talking to this person. I have no idea what it's all about. You make your own text up. And he takes them into an area that's got lots of computers. And Spock tries, by the looks of it, he tries to figure out what's going on. And then Kirk finds his communicator and is speaking to the ship. And they beam, looks of it, they beam back out from the ship, from the place, back onto the transporter platform, and back onto the Enterprise, and it looks like they blow up the planet by the looks of things. I have no idea what that picture is. And then off the Enterprise goes as the planet is exploded. So there we are. They go and destroy a planet. I don't think that really happens in Star Trek, but there we are. This was one of those Yeah, one of those books that really didn't have a story. It was just images, and they've just done these bits and pieces. But all the images are all based there for the magic painting. It's all about the magic painting. It's not about the story or what's contained in the story. It is all about the magic painting. So all you need is a paintbrush and some water, and you dip your paintbrush into the water and you go over the shaded areas, like I said, and it brings the colours to the front, and that gives you your finished painting. It doesn't go over the edges. You don't spill anything. You don't smudge anything. It's all because it's all just water that brings the colours to the surface. So it's very well designed, and a great book for anyone to do, and fantastic for kids. Okay, that's the end of the book. Let's close it up and bring it back to the front. So how well did these books do back in the day? Well, I mean, magic painting books go right back to the 60s, really. They become more prominent in the 70s and really phased out in the 80s. Why? I don't really know why they phased out, but back in the day they were very big books. Obviously back in the 80s, in the 60s, 70s and the early 80s, you had no video recorders or streaming or DVD players, anything like that. So to continue to enjoy your favourite television programmes, and they weren't on air, there was things like these books, the magic painting books. There was annuals, there was TV time storybooks, there was all sorts of and of course there was novels. There was so much book merchandise to keep you occupied, and obviously there was other merchandise that was produced as well. In the 70s, Mego done the action figures and the bridge play set and a few other bits and pieces. There was other things that Remco did as well. So there was different merchandise that was produced for Star Trek back in the day. But obviously magic paintings books were a cheap thing, and they would keep kids occupied during holidays, and they were a great way to just shut your kids up, put them down on the table and let them get on with painting their books. And you know that there's not going to be much mess afterwards, because they didn't have the paints. It was literally just water and a paintbrush and a book. That's all they needed. So yes, they done very well back in the day. The magic painting books, well, not as popular as annuals, obviously. They were activity books. So if you was into activities, these were books. These were great books for you. If you wasn't, then there was no point in having one. Yeah, I mean they done very well. But these books were never designed to last. Obviously, they were designed to be painted, used, and then when they're finished, thrown away. I know some of my friends used to take the pictures out when they'd done them, and their parents used to put them into a little frame, and they used to have them in their bedroom for a while, and then when they'd change them over, and when they'd done another painting and so on. So that's what some people do. I know some of my friends did that, and some of my other friends just have to use them, paint them, let them dry, and then just used to pin them on the wall. So that was what so consequently, very few of these books, well, once they were done, they really didn't survive. They were up on the wall for a little while and then taken down, thrown away, and that was the end of them. Most of them, in fact nearly all the books that you ever see, if you do see these, have been done at some point during the course of their pages. It's very unusual for you to find one of these books that is completely untouched, as this one is. So they do turn up on the platforms from time to time, not very often, but they do. And like I say, they've usually been done, painted, or at least some of the pages have been done. Finding them like this one completely untouched is an achievement, and really doesn't happen, or hardly ever happens, on the platforms. However, we at Minus Touch have managed to find a few of these, and they are currently available to purchase on the Minus Touch website, which you can get to quite simply by clicking the link below. It'll take you straight to the website, where you'll be able to find this and many other vintage Star Trek items, and many other vintage toys, games and collectibles come to that There's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we are uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I am absolutely positive that is something that you're not going to want to miss, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new products which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there's something in particular you are looking for, something old that you've never been able to find, something quirky that you might want to buy for a friend, or maybe just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know, that next item we upload could be the item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed reviewing this magic painting book with me. Thank you for watching, and we will see you again next video. Bye for now.